All right, mates, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys caught up on all the shorts I released this morning. You can find those on the YouTube channel with the shorts tab. We're going to talk a little bit about Litecoin because of what we got happening in 2023. I know a lot of people want to obviously sleep on Litecoin. A lot of what has been going down with Litecoin. Obviously, over the years, and it doesn't have nearly as many fans as it used to, and I get that, but I still believe it's probably one of the most least talked about projects. I mean, you think about it, yet that just slowly does its thing, right? Not sexy, okay, that's for sure. In the altcoin realm, never really has been, except initially. But why Litecoin is important in 2023, and everybody should consider looking at Litecoin into what's going to happen in terms of the price appreciation of Litecoin, is because of its halving cycle. It's no different than Bitcoin. You hear everybody and his brother telling you about Bitcoin's halving cycle and what's going to happen in 2025 based on the previous halving cycles of Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin halved back in 2020, right in the early part of COVID worldwide. Okay. And then before that, 4 years before. So every 4 years, right? Okay, well, Litecoin has halved twice already itself. And we have seen the same impact on Litecoin's valuations after those previous forks. Previous halvings. Okay? So the question really is, what impact will a halving have on any asset in a bear market? Okay? Right? Because that's really where we're trading at right now. Or will a halving kind of trigger a move out of the bear market? Could it do that? Remember, you've got Ethereum has a hard fork in March of 2023. So you can expect millions of Ethereum tokens to be unlocked with the Shanghai fork, okay, during the surge, all right? What's that going to do to Ethereum, right? What's going to do to the price action of Ethereum, the behavior? Okay, Litecoin's currently trading at about 75 bucks. Okay, we've made the move up here from the 65 level. I think our initial entries were 65 and 68. Profitable trades. Okay, pretty simple, mates. Just using the strategy. Okay, we're getting a little bit of a selling pressure here at 75, which is to be expected. We were targeting 78 because that was the high on December 13th. Okay. And so we may not get there. And if we break back down through, okay, 75, right? We'll change this over. Let's change this real quick. 5 days, 75, 40, right? I know a few of you may choose the 5 day. I prefer, as you guys know, the 7 and 21, 30 method, okay? So 67 is the 7 day. 67.44. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me move that over. 75.31. Okay, so if we fall below 75.31, we're a little bit right on there now, a little bit lower than that now. But if we fall below it, okay, the 5 day is 75.41, the 7 day is 75.32, the 30 day is 70. Okay, so let's look at just the 5, 7, and 21 time frames. Okay. So that kind of is a happy medium between some of you guys and me in terms of what you guys, a lot of you like to use and what I use. So that 21 is 72. Okay, right there. All right. So if we break through this 75, we fall below 75. So if we get into 74, I would sell the trade. My personal opinion, not financial advice. Okay? Because you're more apt to fall back down to 72 and test that 21 day. 21 day level, and then you can decide if you want to re-enter or not. And then if we break that 21 day level, we are going to fall all the way back down to 66, 65, 66. And it's very simple. Let me move my ugly mug out of here, and you're going to see here what that RSI level is looking like, okay? That RSI level looking right now is overheated, okay? So we're likely not going to get to 78. I already know that now. So I'm game planning with a stop loss at 74.75 or 74.85 or something of that nature, right? Take my money and run up from 65 and 68, okay? So again, massive wins, in a bear market. Anything above 20, 25% is a massive win in a bear market, okay? It is. They're not making those kind of returns on the stock market, mates, okay? So anyone who dismisses 20%, 25% just isn't in reality, okay? This is not a bull market where it's 75 to 150% every freaking trade playing the pumps, right? Those are kind of non-existent except for on news-driven yarning, okay, where we get that, all right? Like we got with FTX, right? And we're getting with SBF's arrest, or we're going to get with the XRP potential settlement, blah, okay? Whatever that is, whenever that comes, you're going to get a news-driven event that's going to pump some stuff, and then they're all going to sell back down because it's a bear market, okay? And that's just that reality. But for Litecoin, you really have to understand that what's going to happen here leading up to August. It is going to have in August. So what's going to happen to the price action and the trading behavior from now until August? Litecoin is going to be a victim, like every other asset, to the whims of the market. The plan should be, again, not financial advice, would be to accumulate on those days where we see 3 to 5% declines in the market. They're going to happen. When I will tell you this, I will tell you what my plan is, okay? Is to look at opportunities to accumulate Litecoin tokens spot on down days in anticipation of the halving event, okay? In particular, February and March, okay? Because what you're probably going to see is you're probably going to see a whole bunch of token holders of Ethereum. Remember, some 46% of current Ethereum token holders are in the money today, okay? They're going to look at all those staked Ethereum tokens and wonder whether or not they're all going to get dumped, okay? And if they get dumped, then the value of Ethereum is going to come down on the market, and it could come down very rapidly, okay? Potentially. So I anticipate a lot of these Ethereum holders that are in the money today that bought at 200, 300, 400, 750, 900, whatever, are likely going to take profits before the Shanghai hard fork in Ethereum, okay? To be safe. Probably not a bad option because you don't know when the EIP 4895 proposal drops with the surge in March and the Shanghai fork and unlocks all of those staked Ethereum tokens, what those people are going to do. Are they going to move them and put them in a cold storage? Are they going to hold? What are they going to do? Move them to exchanges and sell them? That is where your metrics come into play, mates. And that gets lost by all these influencers who never talk about that stuff because they're not traders. So they're not really concerned with blockchain activity, exchange flows, in and out flows from exchanges. If you start to see massive amounts of Ethereum being moved to exchanges in the next 60 days, that tells you the intentionality of them selling the Ethereum tokens, okay? That they currently have in anticipation of all those stake tokens getting dumped, in my opinion, okay? As far as that relates to Litecoin, that's going to provide an opportunity because that's going to put pressure on the entire cryptoverse, okay? Everything is going to go down, okay, in that scenario. Because Ethereum is what all these altcoins break themselves against, okay? And if Ethereum is starting to go down, Ethereum has not been able to break 1,300, mates, in the last 2 months, okay? It really hasn't. It's struggling to get above that liquidity barrier, all right? So it's going to have to do that. And say it does do that in the next 30 days, and we get into February, and it's 1,300 to 1,500. Okay. Then you're going to start to see people go, I may have to look for the exit now. Okay. And that's when you want to be watching Litecoin. Because if this hits Litecoin and takes Litecoin down with it, you're going to be able to get Litecoin, okay, on the cheap for its third halving. Because again, it's going to have for the third time. Now, what's happened to Litecoin the prior to halving events? Litecoin's doubled, more than doubled. Okay, remember, there was a time when Litecoin was, what, 4 times, 5 times the value it is now? It's currently trading at 75. Okay? Again, halvings matter. Supply matters. Tokenomics matter, okay, at the end of the day. But also activity, transactional activity, the underlying fundamentals. And no one talks about fundamentals when they talk about crypto, and I get it because there's no earnings per share, there's no there's no sales revenue, there's no you would gauge a normal company like say Apple in terms of how many phones it's selling, all of those things, right? But what it does have is transactional activity. Okay, what it does have is what are the active addresses telling us? The active addresses of Litecoin holders holding more than 1,000 tokens as of Christmas, mates, is at a 2-year high. Litecoin has not seen this level. It has over 4,200 active addresses with over 1,000 Litecoins now at $75. Right? Think about that. We're talking about the bear market. In the bear market, starting in November, December, right? When everyone's talking about bear, this is happening in Litecoin. Why? Why are the whales and sharks accumulating Litecoin? And why are they doing it on a stealth level? And what I mean by that is they're accumulating Litecoin quietly. They're not buying huge blocks of Litecoin. They're buying it in less than 100 blocks at a time if you look on the active addresses and you look on the blockchain. Okay? Meanwhile, the Litecoin network, okay, 30 million, I think 32 million transactions or something, right? So they've increased their transactions. Again, and no one talks about Litecoin, right? But yet it had over 32 million transactions last year, right? Again, is it cheaper than Bitcoin? Right? Is it more efficient than Bitcoin and Ethereum? These are questions. Again, Litecoin's not sexy. She's shiny. That silver coin is shiny, but she just doesn't have the influencer support anymore that's out telling the reality. And that's where I think the opportunity lies for all of us, is to understand that this isn't some fly-by-night project, somebody shilling some promo, altcoin that we've experienced for the last 2 years, where they've all basically shit the bed. All the influencers are running away from them, deleting their promo videos for them. Okay, that tells you all you need to know about people like BitBoy Crypto. Okay, it does. I'm not going to delete any of my videos. The market is fluid. It is fluid, right? But I'm not going to take down this video 8 months from now in August if, the halving event goes south or Litecoin doesn't do what I feel like it's going to do. Remember, it's probability, okay? But I'm not going to take the video down. Own it. And if you're not going to own it, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's the way I look at it. It's sometimes the best trade is no trade at all, mates. I've said that for 3 years now. To anyone that's ever traded with me on a call, anyone who's ever spoken with me, met up with me, here in town to talk crypto at the brewery and all that stuff, and getting people in, looking at projects, consulting on, opportunities, developers about projects, going from one project to another, all networking, all of that stuff. It is what it is. Just own it. Hey man, we're all fallible. Just own it. I want to get out there. I'm going to try that, coming up here, hopefully launching here in the next few weeks. You'll get an invite to the newsletter, and you can get more in-depth analysis on the block. I know it's raw. It's blockchain. It's not sexy. Okay, it's blockchain. What's going on the block? Okay, that's stuff that I love. That's stuff that I analyze. That's stuff that's going to make you a better trader. And at the end of the day, if you're a better trader, you know what I'm talking about. You got a lot more things happening for you and your family. Okay, that's the reality, right? Then if you're worrying about paycheck to paycheck, or you're worrying about the housing market, worrying about your bank having the money run on banks, that is a possibility, mates. It is a possibility in the coming years. I'm telling you, banking is in some scary straits right now. Central banks, everything, okay? Because they know the looming threat that cryptocurrency is now on the horizon, which is why you have them all pushing stable coins now. You all have them put. They're going to go after Tether next, mates, okay? They're going to go after these things, all right? Because they want their own centralized token that they can control, that then they can pitch and then move the masses to in the next and coming decades, all right? So that's just the reality, all right? It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But they're going to put the measures in place to move us to that scenario, okay? And so when you're considering Litecoin, just remember, we've got 8 months, right? Okay? And so on these trades, like right now, we are 75.44. So we are right on the 5-day moving average and just above the 7-day. See that right there. So again, I'm going to look at it. 74.75, 74.85. Have a stop loss, exit the trade, review it when it comes back down to here. It could find some support right here at about 70. If it doesn't, it's going to drop back down to 66 to 68. And then we'll revisit it. Now, the thing to watch is when it falls back down to this 68 level, 65 to 68 in there, the selling pressure, if it breaks through here, is going to come in from institutions and those whales and sharks to sell, to push it back down so they can buy again down here or buy again down here, okay? That's how it works, mates, when you look at the active addresses and the exchange flows, okay? So they'll see an opportunity to punish all of these people, okay? Fill that gap, falling back down, and then buy back up here again. So they'll take the profit, okay? They'll take that profit. I mean, think about it. If you got in back here, low 60s, you got as high as 77, what would you do, right? In a bear market, right? Now, the one thing that actually works to the advantage right now for all of crypto, not just Litecoin, is all that selling took place between Christmas and the 31st of December, and people took a lot of losses. Most people don't understand that that's exactly why Solana fell again from like $13 to $9, okay? In reality, it was people took the loss, okay, on their books, all right? Because sometimes you have to take losses to offset your gains. That's the reality, right? So it had nothing to do with Solana's project, nothing to do with its blockchain, nothing to do with its developers, none of that garbage, okay? It had to do with, it happened to a lot, just like in the stock market. People have until 12/31, the end of the year, to sell their securities, okay? However you define that, all right? But they could still write that off, the institutions, as a loss on their books, okay? By selling by 12/31. Now we're into the new year, and so you're not really going to see that as much in those large chunks like we saw at the last week or two of December. But that's just the update on your Litecoin trade right here. Again, you got my take, mates. I'm going to watch this level right here, put in the stop loss, then revisit it here at 71, 72, see where we're at. We're still overbought here anyway. We would need to fall back down below 70, about right here at this level, at around 60, probably for me to re-enter again on an up trade. And then look for any of the news to come in today. It's 9:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time of this video. So we still got the morning ahead of us and a lot of news coming out today that could impact the markets either way. But again, keep Litecoin on your radar because of the halving event, okay? These are situational, all right? Has nothing to do with the project per se. I know I get a lot of hate all the time, like, oh, this, that. It's just a trading, okay? Trading potential, not project, transaction, all that stuff. We use all that stuff to make informed decisions, but we're talking about how the halving event is going to impact the behavior of the asset, okay? And to take advantage of that from my financial situation, it is really what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about Litecoin's future overall, comparing it to Bitcoin Lightning Network, comparing it to Ethereum or Solana or Polygon or any of that stuff, okay? That's not what I'm talking about, all right? I'm talking about trading, okay, on what's going to happen as we progress through the year and then what's going to happen at the back end of Q3 into Q4 after Litecoin halves. All right, mates. Hope everybody has a great day.